Building the Philippines.
Raw and uncensored. Who knows where this video is going to go? All right, guys, let's get to it.
Let's go.
All right, so we have some good information we hope for you. We're going to call this another PSA, public service announcement. And we're doing this video again because we feel it's necessary. So many of you reach out with emails and Facebook messengers asking specific questions. A lot of you are here now and thinking about either buying a home and renovating it, or buying a piece of land and building upon it. So you're a 10%er, and you're wondering and have a lot of questions. And some of you are back in your home country planning to come to the Philippines to retire, and a lot of them list out multiple questions.
Yes, there is a lot of questions being emailed to us and through Messenger.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's like 15, 20 questions. And, I got to sit down with my phone and take a piece of paper and write the questions down and then think what my answer is going to be and respond. And again, we don't have all the answers by any stretch, but we do have some experience. We've been here 3 years. So we do have some experience. Now, all the examples we're going to give you today is either our own firsthand experiences or someone that has either contacted us via email and gave us their story, or we met them.
Yes.
We've met so many people either up here at the site or for coffee or lunch or dinner, and they tell us their stories of basically just being taken advantage of while they're in the Philippines.
Yes, actually their wives or their Filipina talk to me in our language, express their frustration and how stressed they are with all these vendors taking advantage of them or trying to overcharge them.
Yeah, I think stress is a good word. You hear that a lot from people. So what we're going to do in this video is break down a couple different categories and then give you specific examples that we know of. So we're going to talk about real estate agents. So obviously, if you're looking to buy a home or buy property, you're going to need an agent to help you find the property, more than likely. We're going to talk a little bit about lawyers. Of course, the 800-pound gorilla in the room, the contractors, and then just specific vendors for certain projects. So we're going to try our best to give you guys some information. Again, it's just simple information for you guys to listen to, and then it arms you with a little bit of knowledge. All right, so first up is real estate agents. Boy, do you need to be on your toes there. So again, I want to throw out this disclaimer. I always use the 80-20 rule, and I think it applies here. Obviously, not all agents are out to take advantage of you. Of course not. But I want to give you some specific examples. So longtime viewers know that we went with the 3-agent rule. So whenever we went to an island, we looked to find 3 separate agents to show us properties. And the reason why we did that is to create some competition. We told each of the agents that we were using other agents, so they were aware of it. And we thought that would just create some good competition, and we would see better properties because of it. So Wilma and I sat down and we went through how many agents we used. Are you guys ready?
A lot.
16 agents. We went back and looked at all the people that we talked to. We actually dealt over all the islands that we used, 16 different agents. So number one, often the agent is not an agent. They're not a licensed real estate agent. And often they're just working for the agent, just showing you property. And then if you actually buy the property. They would just get a small piece of that 5%, which is the typical fee that the seller pays to the real estate agent. The person who's showing you the property will just get a piece. So in my opinion, okay, for the most part, they're working for the seller. They're not working for you. They're just trying to get you to buy land or a piece of property. They want you to buy the first one. Just like most agents across the world, they always say, what potential this house has if it's a fixer-upper, things like that. But when you ask specific questions, and what I found out pretty early on is you just don't ask the agent any question. Because if you say something like, does this property have a good source of water? Yes. And then you find out it doesn't have any water. Or is there a good source of power here? Is there primary power, secondary power? Oh yeah, it has both. And you find out that there is no power to the property or only secondary power. So there is a lack of knowledge, and just to be honest, with a lot of the agents. They're just going to tell you everything you want to hear to get you to buy the property. Another thing that they do, and you can do this on your own in your home country, go on Facebook Marketplace, and it's probably easier to do it with an actual home. So look at the area that you want to move to. Say it's Darwin. Put in Darwin, say 20 kilometers from Darwin, you want to buy a home. Maybe put a range in there. You want to spend, say, 5 million to 10 million pesos, whatever you want to put, and it will sort it down. And then just start looking at some of the homes. And you'll see agent number one, or so-called agent number one, is selling this house, listing it for 7 million pesos. And you look at it and you're like, it's not a bad looking house. Maybe I'll take a look at it. But just keep searching. And you'll find out that very often agent number two, which is not affiliated with agent number one, they probably don't even know each other, is selling the property or listing the property for 8 million pesos.
For the same house.
Same house. Why a million more? And then agent number three, same story, selling it for 10 million pesos. They raise the price because they want you to buy it for the bigger price, and they're going to take the money off the top. Mm-hmm. So let me give you an example of that. And this was a big one in Leyte.
Yes.
We found out through one of the agents that we used, who was an honest agent. We said, we want to see this house. And he goes, sir, there was a young guy. We don't want to show you that house. And I'm like, why not? He goes, well, I don't really want to tell you, but they're kind of scamming you. I'm like, well, what's the issue? Well, I know that the house is owned by a Canadian foreigner who's dying of lung cancer, moved back to Canada with his Filipino wife to get treatment. And he wants to sell this home for 7 million pesos. But I'm like, it's listed for 11 million. He goes, yeah. He goes, the agent that we will meet there, the agent that actually listed the home, raised the price with the sister of the wife. So it's a Canadian gentleman dying of lung cancers and wife back in Canada. The wife's sister is in cahoots with the real estate agent, raised the price from 7 million to 11 million because they want to make 4 million off of you, and they're going to split it 50-50. So I said, you don't know me very well. Boy, do I want to go see this house now because it's entertainment for me. So we went and saw the house, and we walked around, and and I said, hey, I want to get in touch with the owner. Oh no, you can't get in touch with the owner. He's very sick. I'm like, well, he has a wife, right? Yeah. In Canada? Yeah. Well, I'll talk to her. Wilma can talk to her. Oh, well, she doesn't want to be involved. I'm handling everything. And so I kept pressing that I want to talk. And then I would walk around and say, I think this house is overpriced. I think it's worth 7 million in my estimation. So I would like to make an offer for 7 million. Oh no, sir, they won't take 7 million. And we just had some fun.
Yes.
And we just strung them along for like an hour, just making them feel uncomfortable while our agent was a young guy, was just
laughing.
Yeah, just enjoying every minute of it. And I just, rode them, like an old horse for 60 minutes. So you have to be aware of that a lot of times if you can't get in touch with the actual owner, there could be some shenanigans going on. So when it comes to real estate agents, just be aware. Again, 80-20 rule applies. Use caution. Often they're really not agents. They're just people showing property that is working for an agent. They're really, truly working for the seller. And though, you'll ask them questions about certain things, often they don't have the answer. They truly don't. They don't have the experience.
No,
And
I think it's best just to ask the local,
yeah,
the neighbor.
yeah. Oh, that reminds me. When we were in
Yes.
Leite, and I wasn't going to talk about this, but
Mhm.
this was early on. We went and looked at a piece of property, and again, I was naive, and it looked like it was kind of low-laying property. And I asked the agent. It was dumb of me to ask the agent, "Hey, does this ever flood?" "Oh no, never floods. I've been around here all my life, never floods." Well, at that same moment, there was two kids
Two kids were just walking by.
walking by, and they were maybe 10 years old. They were young kids. So I said to Wilma, "Ask them real quick if it ever floods." And what did they say?
Oh yes, we go swimming here. When it's rain a lot, it's like up to here.
Yes.
And there were about like maybe 3 foot.
Yeah. About 3 foot
they
tall.
were little kids.
Little kids, maybe 10 years old. They said, "Oh yeah, it floods up to your chest."
And we go swimming in this area.
Yeah, right where we go swimming here. So
And the real estate was like
embarrassed.
was fuming.
Yeah. So you're best not to ask questions and just do your own research. So that's another example. So next up is lawyers, and you wouldn't think that there would be many stories to talk about issues with attorneys, but there is. Now, we were lucky. Everything went through nice for us. However, I've got two quick stories. One is a good friend of ours looking for property in this area, found a nice piece of property, went to an attorney to do the proper checks to make sure that the property could be titled. Lawyer did his due diligence, took money down, charged our friend, and came back and said everything is fine. And come to find out, the property was not fine. There was a legal issue pending that would really take a long time for the title to clear. So he wasn't very happy about that. He approached a lawyer, and a lawyer basically said, "It is what it is. I took your money and you're not getting your money back." And he wasn't very happy about that. And he decided not to even buy in this area. He bought in a different area of Negros Oriental because he was jaded. He felt he was lied to. Another example is another friend of ours had an issue with a contractor where they parted ways and basically got taken advantage of for quite a bit of money. And went out and got an attorney, and the attorney, one, gave him some bad advice, two, filed the case incorrectly. So again, in our opinion, it's called playing the long game. A lot of foreigners will look to get money back if they're scammed, try to use the court systems, but it's a long game. You might have to wait 6 months, 12 months. The lawyer is charging you, gathering the case, telling you that, you're going to win this case, and come to find out that when he went in front of the judge says this was all filed incorrectly. And how can that be? An attorney knows how to file things correctly, and basically said, you can refile, take another 6 to 12 months to go before another judge, and we'll go from there. And the foreigner decided, you know what? It's not worth it. I've already dealt with this for many, many months. And that's the long game. That's what they're hoping for you to do.
You give up.
You just give up because it takes so long to get your money back. And even if you win the case, we know people that have got an attorney and won the case, and then the person, typically a contractor, is ordered to pay you back. And say they're say, oh, well, I can't pay you back $1,000,000 pesos. I don't have $1,000,000 pesos. Well, you got to pay back $200 a month, for example. They make one payment and stop. You'll never see another payment. So now you got to start all over again. Again, it's all about the long game. So be careful with the lawyers that you choose. And again, just because they tell you a certain thing is fine. Again, I'm not an attorney, so I don't know how you would, figure out that the attorney's giving you bad advice. But I guess talk to as many people as you can, and just be leery, because there is examples out there where lawyers do not do you any justice. All right, here we go. The 800-pound gorilla in the room, the contractor. Oh, my Lord. I told you guys on many videos, 8 out of 10 have issues. We are so lucky with our contractor. Everything went smooth. The house was built in less than 7 months. We moved in at 184 days, and we were lucky. But so many people have issues, and I think I figured it out. This is my opinion. So if any you have a piece of paper and pen, write this down, because we've talked to so many people that's got taken advantage of. 2 things that seem to be a common denominator. Number one, people put too much money down. People put 100% down, 50% down, a third down. Guys, it's too much money down. What we did with our build is we took the number of months it was going to be built, and we divided the contracted cost by that. So in other words, we would make payments monthly. So it was originally a 6-month build. So we paid 1/6 down and then 1/6 per month. At month 3 or 4, we noticed that things wasn't going the way we thought. So we added a month. So I think it was at month 4. So there was 2 payments left. So what I did was I cut it to 3 payments, thus making that 1/6 payment smaller, and said that I will pay the remaining contracted price over 3 months instead of the remaining 2, because it looks like you're not going to get done to the 7th month. Our contractor said, no problem. Never gave us an issue.
No.
And I also told them, don't ask for money. I will give you the money the first of every month. I'm not going to forget. It's like paying rent. And there was no issue.
No.
There was just no issue. So guys, don't put so much money down. If they ask for a third down or 50% down,
It's too much.
It's a red flag. Just don't do it. The next thing, which is relatively new information, I mean, we're trying to understand things. When people tell us stories, obviously we listen and we get more educated with more and more stories that we hear. So I'm going to call it the Filipino Ponzi scheme. And it seems to happen often. So a contractor could have, say, 5 builds going on at once. Your build and 4 others. Doesn't matter what the number is. And you're supposed to give them a set number of pesos per month. You give them the payment. Well, build number 3 for him hasn't given him his payment yet. So they're delinquent. So what he does is takes your payment, maybe takes half of it, and keeps your bill going, keeps track of the figures, takes the other 50%, and starts building build number 3 with your money, hoping that that person, maybe a week later, 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, maybe never, gives their payment, and then he can take that payment and reimburse you. Well, if build number 3 doesn't pay up for 3 months or 2 months, you don't get your money back. So your build is going, it's going, and then it plateaus. It probably plateaus is because you used your money for someone else's build. That's a Ponzi scheme. Now, does that happen all over the world with contractors? I don't know. I'm not a contractor, but it doesn't sound kosher to me. So, so many builds start off great and then it plateaus. And, we hear people say it.
Yeah.
We had one gentleman tell us the story where he gave 1,000,000 pesos over, and they basically used the entire 1,000,000 pesos on another build. It was an apartment complex. And then he noticed that he wasn't getting things done in his house. And he approached a contractor, and the contractor told him the truth. I used your money on somebody else's build. So, guys, it's kind of the wild, wild west here. It's just the way it is. So if you give too much money to these contractors, we heard also stories where they go out and buy cars with your money. Just recently, someone went out and bought a scooter. So they get your payment, and they're like, "Oh boy, that's nice. That's 700,000 peso payment. Let me take 100,000 of that and go buy a brand new shiny scooter with it." Well, guess what? They're going to be 100,000 short on your bill. So I think we figured it out. So take that into account when you're giving your hard-earned retirement dollars to your contractor. All right, last but certainly not least, just the run-of-the-mill vendors, the plumber, the electrician, the handyman, the gardener, whatever the case may be. You may be renting a home and the landlord will not fix things, and you say, it's pretty cheap, I'll just have somebody come in. Or you may have bought in a home and you're happy with it, and you just want to do some renovations. We did a video 3 weeks ago where we brought a contractor up here, gave his bids. I'll leave the link to that video in the description box of this video. And boy, was it telling. It was amazing. We did the work 30 to 35% of the costs. So they just tripled the bid. Again, we can only say, because I'm a foreigner, just given very high prices, just assuming that I'm dumb enough to say, yeah, sure, go ahead and do it. And it probably happens, right? They probably go out and give 10 bids to 10 foreigners, and probably 5 out of 10, I don't know, you pick the number, says, yeah, sounds good, go ahead and do it. But if you know the prices, we did it for pennies on the dollar, just by not having the vendor handle it. So we want to end with one quick story, and it's really not related to building, but I think it's very telling. Talk about our suket in Bacan.
Yes.
Talk about that real quick.
Yes, soke here is like, it's the vendors that you go to all the time, and they get to know you and you get to know them. So you got the Philippine fries. And actually the vendor lady there told me, after a while we kept going back to her. She said that actually we are the owner of this vendor, of this business, actually trained us to, if a foreigner come and want to buy something from their store, to raise the price. And it was like, to me, I was shocked. She said, yeah, they actually trained us to raise the price for a foreigner. So
yeah. So that's firsthand. So that's actual person who works there. Now, is it every vendor? No, we understand that. Okay. Will this video trigger some people saying that, well, I built a house and it never happened? Yeah, you got lucky. Of course, you could build a home here and everything works out perfect. But I'll use the number once again, 8 out of 10 that we deal with. Our channel is Building the Philippines, so it's about building. So the people who contact us are either builders or want to build, or they have already built and want to share their story. It's all about building, building, building. So 8 out of 10 have issues. So that's a straight example of where the owner of the company has trained their employees to raise the price. It's ingrained in the culture to try to separate certain people from their money. Now, does it happen to Filipinos that have good paying jobs? Maybe they have a lot of money. Do they get taken advantage of? I'm sure they do. But again, 99.9% of the people who contact us is a foreigner man with a Filipino wife. So that's what we're talking about. Of course, if you're a rich Filipino and you build a home, you could have contractors and vendors take advantage of you as well. We're not saying that it doesn't happen, but again, related to our story, it's a foreigner man, Filipino wife. That's everybody who talks to us, sends us information, or who we meet. So we just wanted to share these stories with you. I know it may trigger some of you, but it's okay. We want to get the truth out to people. We want you guys to think about it, be aware of it. So when you are starting to deal with these people, you can think back, hey, Greg and Wilma said this. It may save you a lot of money. It may save you, like Wilma said, a lot of stress and heartache, frustration. That's not what retirement is about. Retirement is about enjoying yourself. You worked hard all your life, and it's time to sit back and enjoy all your hard work. Why come to a foreign country? Again, this is the Philippines. It could happen anywhere, and be taken advantage of and just stress and not enjoy your retirement years. So hopefully this will help someone, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care for now.